When it comes to seafood, everybody claims that theirs is fresh. But the reality is, in the United States, fresh is simply a buzzword for not frozen. In the vast majority of seafood that you see in the grocery store, it can be up to 2 weeks old by the time you buy it in the display case. This is part of a much greater systemic issue with the US seafood industry. But the good news is, there are guys going out of their way to serve truly fresh seafood. Today you'll meet an award-winning chef who buys lobsters directly from his lobsterman cousin, a fishmonger whose family has supported the commercial fishermen of Southeast Florida for decades, and a Cape Cod commercial fisherman who starts his mornings at a gas station convenience store.
What's on the menu today?
Double stuffed ovary. Oh, it is like 4:15. Monday, August 12th.
We are meeting up with Mr. Reed the Fishmonger from good old Florida. We're gonna have a day of commercial fishing. Then we are going to take said fish to Seaport, Row 34 in Boston.
But before we could do that, we had to stop and get coffee. And Cam had to physically walk up to the drive-thru window because his boat would not fit around the tight turn.
There you go. All right. Have a good day. Frosted donut, no sprinkles.
Why the no sprinkles?
Eventually we got to the boat launch, but the drive-thru issue did make us a little late in meeting up with our guests. But thankfully they were chill about it and we brought them some coffee to make it up.
What's going on, man?
Cam.
Yeah.
There's gonna be 2 Cams today.
Cool name, I heard.
More on Reed and Cam later. First we had to get to the fishing grounds so we could catch our limit of fish and make some money.
Where can I put this?
Huh?
Where can I put this?
Just in the console.
Huh?
Just anywhere on the console. Yeah, you didn't get a Dunkin' sponsorship? They sponsor smaller people than us, bro.
Chocolate frosted, no sprinkles. Full sweet.
All right, guys, we were at LC Bass Spots, and the screen is lit up.
Oh, heck yeah.
So Cam dropped down a bait and it did not take long for him to catch the first fish of the trip.
Lots of fish. Perfect conditions. Not too calm, not too rough.
I know, dude. We can't beat this.
Yeah, no, yesterday was too greasy.
Where we live, this is a flat day.
Okay, this is nice. Not a Joe, but a large.
Cam had caught the first fish of the trip, a black sea bass. Black sea bass are a delicious eating fish local to the Northeast, and here in Cape Cod the commercial season for them starts in July and goes all the way until September-October. They like to congregate near the bottom, so to get them you can drop down a bait or a lure, and they are super aggressive.
That's a nice one.
That's a nice one, I hear it.
There we go.
That's a Joe. That's a,
For the boys.
that's a freaking good fish, though.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Oh,
That one earned his right to live, though.
he really did.
You know, he straight up just jumped out of your arms.
Let me now introduce you to Reed Brand, better known as Reed the Fishmonger. As you can probably guess, Reed is a fishmonger, but not just any fishmonger. Reed and his business partner, Cam Brooks, together have built their social media empire on Reed's family's fish shop, Captain Clay and Sons Seafood Market in Delray Beach, Florida.
My dad's been commercial fishing the South Atlantic fishery since the 70s. I grew up working on his boat. Target species was mostly grouper snapper. I wasn't a diver, but he was, and he also absolutely crushes spiny lobsters diving. When we first opened, you know, our family's been commercial fishing many decades. Our family was known on the water, but not in a retail market. So it took many years of just developing good relationships with customers, never selling a bad piece of fish. It's not the fast money way, but it is the slow and steady way that will last for generations to come of people that really know and trust our family. New customers, teaching them that, you know, this is what we have today and why that's better than having something specific in mind. Getting the customers to trust us when we give a recommendation. Like if you're looking specifically for mahi, we're gonna have something that's gonna be comparable enough that's hours out of the water, locally caught, if we don't have a local mahi.
If you want to experience seafood that's better than just your grocery store filet that's probably weeks old, open up your palate, open up your mind, be willing to try new stuff, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised just how many good tasting fish there are out there that you've just had your mind closed off to.
Now let's talk about bleeding the fish. After a fish is caught, it's super stressed out, and letting it just suffocate to death in a tote is not only a bad way to go, but it also makes the quality of the meat worse, because all the stress hormones and lactic acid eventually can make their way into the meat. The overwhelming majority of fish in the seafood industry is handled this way, and that, combined with the fact that grocery store fish can be weeks old by the time you buy it under the glass, is the reason why you probably grew up hearing that fish is only good in your refrigerator for 1 to 2 days max. Truly fresh seafood does not go bad in just 1 or 2 days in your refrigerator. And purchasing seafood from a trusted fisherman or fishmonger not only gives you the ability to cut the line and get a product that is days or even hours out of the water, but it also gives you the opportunity to purchase seafood that is handled with more care. In this case, it's bleeding and icing our fish. Every couple minutes when Cam goes to reset the drift, I take all the fish in the tote and I bleed them while they're still alive, before putting them into an ice water slurry. This can really extend the shelf life of the fish, because all those nasty stress hormones and lactic acid, which all speed up the decomposition process, never make their way into the meat. This may also shock you, but not all commercial fishermen ice their catch, and you as a retail buyer might never even know.
This water is freezing cold.
We had caught our limit of black sea bass, but that was when our buddy Eric pulled up in another boat. Eric was in a bit of a pickle because he hired a mate for the day, and his mate, instead of catching fish, got seasick and was throwing up.
Say something, I got a sensor.
Eric deliberately came over because he thought the footage of his mate throwing up would make good content.
What you're seeing right here is Mike and Cam's homie puking off the side of the boat.
I have no clue who that guy is.
Me either, but
Eric's mate for the day.
So we left Eric to figure out his mate problem because these blood and ice sea bass had a date with an award-winning chef in Boston. But there was still a lot of work to be done. You might not know it, but in the seafood industry, most fish are typically sized before they're sold. And with a fish like sea bass, the bigger fish typically pay more money per pound. And all 200-something pounds of these sea bass needed to be sorted by hand. But before I tell you about me and Cam's system for sorting sea bass, let me tell you about today's sponsor, AG1. AG1 is a research-backed daily health drink that combines a multivitamin, probiotic, and a blend of superfoods into one scoop. Not only does it provide a wide range of vitamins and minerals, but it's also designed to support gut health. It offers a convenient way to supplement your diet by offering over 70 different vitamins and minerals. AG1 is also NSF certified for sport, contains less than 1 gram of naturally occurring sugar, and it's also dairy and gluten-free. Using it's ridiculously easy. All you gotta do is just take a packet or a scoop, add it to water or orange juice, shake it up, and you got yourself a multivitamin and a probiotic all in one. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code and save $20 off your AG1 subscription. Now let me tell you how the sea bass are sorted. We typically have one guy in the boat weighing out anything that looks like a jumbo sea bass. A jumbo is anything that's 1.8 pounds and above. Those we set aside because you get the best price per pound. Since with sea bass, the larger the fish, the more meat you get relative to the total body weight. There are also large size, which is anything less than 1.7 but heavier than 1.4, and medium size, which is anything 1.3 pounds and below. The guy in the boat, in this case Cam, weighs out fish and throws them down into the corresponding cooler. And the guy on the ground, in this case me, makes sure that they fit nicely into the right cooler and they're adequately covered with ice. But Reed actually shared with us a pro tip that drastically improved our workflow.
we call this soldier packing. Belly down, side by side, you fit a lot more fish in the ice box. Also, you have ice on the bottom, ice on top, packs ice really nicely. And if you're gutting your fish to store in a walk-in refrigerator inside of a cooler, any fluids that are left inside of it will drip out instead of into the meat. Just a all-around useful way to store your fish.
Pro tip. It's like he sells fish for a living. And also what Reed was saying is, like if we go this way, you know that you're not going to get spined. So it's pro tips like that you really only would know if you do this for a living or have had a family-run business for 40 years doing this. So here's our beautifully sorted fish that we probably wouldn't have been able to fit in these coolers if it wasn't for Reed's expertise on soldier packing.
So we loaded up the fish and headed to Seaport, which is a neighborhood in South Boston.
Those jumbos don't stand a chance against those jumbo guns.
All right, guys, so we made it to row 34. We are in the Seaport district, and we are going to unload fish.
So we pulled the truck up to the loading dock and prepared to transfer the fish from iced coolers into fish totes for row 34. And Reed brought the rest of the homies that he was traveling from Florida with, but we'll introduce you to those dudes when it comes to eating time, because there was still work that needed to be done. If you've made it this far in the video, hopefully you've now seen how incredible it is to get a wild fish from the ocean to even just the service entrance of a restaurant. These are things that most diners don't even give a second thought to, but it requires the careful coordination of fishermen, fishmongers, and of course customers who choose to buy local even when buying imported is cheaper and more convenient. Speaking of which, the last person I need to introduce you to is chef and owner Jeremy Sewell of Row 34. Jeremy has received numerous awards and has even been nominated by the James Beard Foundation. But what matters to Waterman more than any other culinary award is Jeremy's decision to source local seafood for his restaurants, including buying Maine lobsters from his cousin Mark, who's a commercial lobsterman.
These come from your cousin?
Yeah, all these were caught by my cousin. So they were in the ocean. They were caught the last 2 days, so you can just tell how lively they are right out of the ocean. Nice long antenna. They're really pissed off, as they should be.
Yep.
So yeah, today we got about 1,000 pounds, and we'll go through those over the next couple of days, and then we'll do it again. So it's pretty cool. We go every on truck. We go up 2-3 times a week, pick up lobster, and bring them down.
Ethan here got to work and started scaling our black sea bass.
So that is a curry comb. A curry comb is a horse brush, and it is one of my favorite tools for scaling fish.
That's a new one, because usually we take a couple of the outside rings off, so it's a little more.
Yeah.
But before we could film anymore, Chef Jeremy said the magic words.
All right, you guys ready for a beer? Let's go.
Let's do it.
Keep in mind, all of us have been awake since 3 in the morning, with the majority of the day spent doing manual labor. And with the exception of a few trashy snacks, none of us had really eaten anything. There were, however, a few food preferences that Chef Jeremy had to work around.
I'll try anything once. Okay. But, there's just, certain triggers.
Okay, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. If you don't like it, don't eat it.
Never had ceviche? What? Commercial fishermen and bosses. Never had ceviche.
These are Row 34, our signature oyster grown in Duxbury, Mass. These are swells. Swells are from New Hampshire. A couple of young guys who used to work for me, and they wait tables at night and grow oysters during the day.
That is
They've
so
grown
rad.
enough oysters, they can just grow oysters now. They don't wait tables anymore.
The best road trip ever.
Yeah, thanks.
That is a killer freaking oyster, man. Full body flavor, very forward on the brine with a sweetness in the back.
This time of year, of course, it's local tuna. They're catching tuna everywhere right now. This is bluefin on the bottom, a little black garlic aioli, avocado, ginger, and mint syrup on there, a little sea salt, avocado.
Oh my god. Phenomenal. That black garlic aioli is crazy.
This is ceviche.
Oh yeah, Cam's gotta get that ceviche.
So we broke in easy. We did ceviche tacos. So this is the black bass you guys just brought me. We just cut a couple real quick, dice it up, lime, little roasted corn, Fresno cucumber, and then a little roasted poblano cream on the bottom, and a little tortilla shell.
How was it? What do you eat again?
What do you eat again?
My first time too.
Yeah?
What do you think, brother? What do you think?
Not bad. I want to try the sea bass, the grilled one, the whole grilled one.
That's coming.
Is that one of my fish?
Your fish, yeah.
Okay.
You just ate your fish. That was your ceviche.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's all I care about.
It's like, unless it's my fish, I'm not eating it.
Sounds like my
Yeah.
father.
I see what other people do to their fish. That.
Now came the main courses. Remember the fresh lobster that Chef Jeremy gets from his cousin Mark the lobsterman?
So this is our warm butter roll. So it's just a brioche roll toasted. My cousin Mark's lobster warmed up in warm butter.
This is the best day of my life. Coming first to New England and then getting to like seafood. You know what I'm saying?
We cook so many raw lobsters. We harvest a roe out of them. So we rip the tails and claws off to cook them. And inside the lobster on the female sometimes is roe. If the roe's on the outside, it's against the law to keep. If you see the eggs on the outside, the lobster will need to throw those back. But sometimes it's on the inside, so we save that roe. And then we puree it with chicken eggs and make pasta. And when you cook it, it turns red like a lobster.
Came into here really wanted to taste some lobster, and I've had some, great bites. But this is the best bite I've had since I've been here.
Jeremy knows secrets to the seafood industry, coming from a commercial fisherman family that allows him to have access to fresh seafood, like us. Not anybody can just buy 250 pounds of sea bass from us. There are certain hoops you have to jump through from an industry standpoint. Not more than that, you also have to have a customer base that is willing to pay a premium for better, high-quality seafood. And the fact that Jeremy has a clientele that will do that speaks volumes. It's just like Reed. Reed has a customer base that will pay above market what they get at Publix or whatever for seafood that they know is miles better in quality.
And it helps us take better care of you guys too.
That's a knuckle piece from a lobster. Most people don't know this. Best pita meat in lobster.
Look who's going back for seconds.
See, it's a good roll. It's a good roll, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never said it was.
Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh my god.
Here's some of the fish you guys caught today.
Oh, those
Look
are
at
the
the
Joes.
size of that one. That must be the one that Cam caught.
These are buttermilk biscuits with honey and rosemary butter.
Oh my god.
Fast biscuit. Immaculate. Yeah, very good. The skin is on point.
This is my favorite thing on the menu that they do.
That's really good. I didn't know a biscuit could be that good.
And of course, what dinner would be complete without dessert?
Homemade butterscotch pudding. Brown sugar scotch, butterscotch chips, vanilla. It's been on since day one. I've been running around for a long time and had many incredible meals. This is top 3 best things best meals I've ever had in my life. Everybody agrees.
I would put it like 1 or 2.
Let's say it's something. Thank you. I'm ancient. I'm like 65. That's all. You're still a young man.
After dessert, Chef Jeremy sent us home, each with a signed cookbook, which was pretty sweet.
All right, guys, we just finished dinner. Huge shout out to Jeremy over here at row 34. Chef Jeremy crushed it.
I have traveled the country eating phenomenal food and abroad. This makes the top of the top.
Bingo bongo.
Never seen it like that. All over the world, having incredible meals everywhere we go, and I would have to put this in the top 3 without a doubt. This guy, I mean, come on, he's the full meal deal of fresh, local talent. That's how he gets this kind of success.